Welcome to the Woke Nation, our nation of factual truth, where we feel free to share knowledge and spread the knowledge of factual truth without fear, without favor, and without faith. Where we encourage us to live our life and live it well through the knowledge of factual truth because knowledge is spring and it is our life. Nothing can be done without knowledge. You can believe all you want, you can never make anything happen. Your faith cannot change anything. Your belief cannot change anything. For anything to change, it requires knowledge. What's up, Abumbi? So, personally, I'm encouraging you to enjoy your life. You know, that's what I do, and I encourage you to do it. I'm not forcing you. I'm not telling you if you don't do it, you will perish. You know, you will never perish. If you don't do it now, you will only be suffering. If you come back, you continue where you stop. You can never die. You can never perish. Anyone that threatens you with hellfire or other bullshit, no. The only thing that will make you suffer is your ignorance. Period. So your ignorance is God. But what you know is science. Okay. So today, I want to share this powerful thing about us because many of us, we have been taught away from our great ancestral truths. So we hang up on spirituality or belief system, which is not benefiting us, as we all can see and testify. So I titled this Chariots of Fire, when I was talking about sharing on African spirituality, because I still see many of our people attacking me for saying spirituality is a belief system. They say it's where you understand nature. No. For you to know, understand nature, or know anything nature, all you need to do is experiment or research. There's things you do, and whatever you are doing is not spiritual. Nature is natural. Nature is not spirit. Nature is natural. Spirit is spiritual. Okay, so when you say nature is spiritual, he said nature. He did not say spirit. Can you say spirit is natural? Can you say that? Okay, so but understand this. As I've been saying, anything that exists is natural, whether it is invisible or visible. And what make it exist? Even the invisible one, you can use them because they exist. You can see them, you can hear them, you can smell them. The main thing, you can use them. If that thing exists, you cannot use it, it is useless to you. Which, as no matter how you try to argue it, you say something exists, but it's not useful. Let's say maybe you can't see it, but what can it do for you? Don't tell me after you have done something, you say that is what make you do it. No, you are the one doing it because you have your brain and your body. Without your brain and your body, you will not do it. No, there's no God pushing you. There's no. It must be either your desire that drives you on because of the choice you have made. Because everything in life, you must see choice there. Unless you are a slave, forced to work or forced to do things you don't want to do. Get it? Okay. So Chariots of Fire was what came to mind. I've been talking to us about our ancient powers as a people, Africans, our ancient powers. Remember, I did not say our ancient power. Our ancient powers. The power that built the pyramid of stones. Even till today, the scientists are trying to calculate what type of machine our ancestors used to put those stones on top of one another. When I started seeing us, I told us, when they tell you in the Bible that Joshua said, son, stand still, no, it was Africans that were doing that. Hi. Chariots of iron. So where it came from? The Bible. I want to use it because everything in the Bible was stolen, plagiarized, and put there and telling you it is the word of God. But if you can read it very well with your common sense, you will understand that there is nothing there that is true. They lie, they cover it, they mess it up and put it there as their truth. That's why you see some people saying that the Bible is African history. No, they stole from us and put it there is a lie. There's no iota of truth in the Bible. There's no iota of truth in the Quran. There's no iota of truth in the Torah, including the number of pages they put there. Those alphabets, yeah, they're wrong. You ask me, how do you mean? Yeah, because had it been that God exists, he wouldn't use our human alphabet to number those pages of book. It is man that made it up, so it's lie. It's not anything God. Everything in the Bible from cover to cover is a lie. All of them. So in Judges, welcome to Bible study. In Judges chapter 1, because you hear some believers, people that believe in higher power, a higher force, the people that believe in God, they tell you that God cannot fail. With God, all things are possible. If God is with you, if God is guiding you, if God is protecting you, blah, 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 bad thing will not happen. You will always win, blah. No nonsense people say. They won't pause and say, I'm the one saying this. Why can't that God say this by itself? Why am I his mouthpiece? Because that God is man-made. Judges chapter 1 verse 19, it says, so the Lord, remember whenever you hear the Lord, is talking about slave owner. You know who enslaved us. You know who owns slaves. Okay? So the Lord was with Judah. And they drove out the mountaineers, the people living in the mountains. White people drove out themselves first. They enslaved themselves first. Understand that. Before they came enslaving us, they first enslaved themselves. Before they came torturing us, they first tortured themselves. That's why they were cruel to us, because they don't even care about themselves. So who are you? Hear what he says. But they could not drive out the inhabitants of the lowland. People don't live in the mountains. Real people live in the land where they till, where they feed themselves, where they take care of themselves. And that land is part of what you see in, I think, in Joshua chapter 18. Where they go and take their land. He said, these people living there, they lack nothing. They were not living in the mountain. But who are the mountain of the Caucasian mountain, right? That's what I heard, right? That's what it's called. They were living in the cave there. He said, they could not drive out the inhabitants of the lowland because they have chariots of fire. Africans don't know that when the Arabs and the Europeans came, when those invaders came, they could not drive us away. They could not beat us. They could not handle us, because we are powerful people. We are full of powers. Every family have power. Every individual have power. Every African. And you cannot predict them. You don't know how they will come up with what to build magnificent things like pyramids, sphinx, and all that. Although they say it were aliens that built it. No, we did. So that's why when they came, they saw these people were built. These people were unstoppable, according to Genesis chapter 11, 1 to 9. They said these people, they are one. They are one. They are one family. They didn't have tribes then. Oh, this tribe, this tribe. No, they were one family. They had family. That's why they stole it and tell you family of this or household of this. That's how Africans were. We didn't have gods and goddesses. We didn't have kings and queens. All we had were elders and the people. And every family produces elders. You see why there was no corruption in our land. No corruption in our land, no prison, no elderly homes, no all this nonsense they built, no prostitution, no motherless baby home or childless or bastard. We didn't have all that, no army, because we were not corrupt. It's corrupt people that need army because they're corrupt. They corrupt by invading and taking other people's land, raping their women and killing their men, their great men. So they came. They said, what are we going to do to these people? They have chariots of iron. Our God could not chase them away. We cannot chase them away. All we had, all our plans, anytime we see these people, it collapse. They have powers. They say we will confuse them. Read it. Genesis chapter 11, 1 to 9. He didn't say we will fight them, because you can't fight them when they have that powers. They may wave their hand like this, all of you go blind. They say when the Europeans were fighting with the Benin Igbos, he said that there was a man who holds staff. When he made that line, it forms a big hole, a big ditch. The Europeans came, they fell in, covered. But do you hear them teach us that? No. But how did they get to kill those men? When I hear some Africans blaming our ancestors, say our ancestors, we are stupid to let white people to know. Our ancestors are wiser than us. And we are talking to ourselves. We are talking about ourselves. Our ancestors resisted them, fought them with their weapons. Our ancestors didn't have weapons of mass destruction to be killing any human being. No, all they had is weapons to hunt animals. That's why they welcome the strangers when they come, because they said, okay, you have what I have. Okay, no problem. Only your color different. We will treat you like ourselves. But if they don't know, when they invited them to dinner, they turned them into the meal and begin to eat them. And you believe your ancestors were eating or killing twins? No. They were the one doing that. So that the people that succeeded in catching some people or getting some people and tell them, get him, that man, we will make you king. We will make you this. You see, you begin to, because they used to have king in their place. One person controlling the whole people. That's slavery. That when you're talking about kingdom, is slavery. It's slavery. When you're talking about kingdom, we don't have kingdom originally. Africans, kingdom is strange to us. That's why you see how our kings are messing up today. But what you're supposed to know, those things they force on Africans, Africans try to, marry it to their powers and begin to spiritualize their powers. Now, instead of them focusing on what helped them to build the powers they used to build those things, they begin to spiritualize it. When I die, blah, blah, blah. The death, blah, blah. They begin to fear even their powers, because these people fear them and make them fear their powers. They confuse them. Because they found out this people, okay, they believe that also. Now, through you, we can get these people. How do you confuse people? People that believe something, like when you say you are gaslighting people, you make them doubt their own reality. You make them fear themselves. You make them hate themselves. So now they depend on you for guidance. They depend on you, to what anything in life. And that's exactly what happened. So there were sellouts among us, which they used to kill or kidnap, or especially kill those that have such powers. That's why when they take some of them to Europe or to America, they found out even these powers still travel with their children. They begin to change them. They begin to say, no, these people, stop this. You won't do this. Then they confuse them by telling them, oh, there is God. Oh, yeah, you believe, okay, there is God that created all these things. This God is this God is that, this God have them, this God have this God commanded this God commanded that. But nobody has seen that God at any time. Listen, they confuse them with their belief, which they call spirituality. Spirituality is not African word. So when you ask Igbo man what is spirituality, tell you ihe mmụọ. No, ihe mmadụ ka a na-eme, ihe mmadụ na-arụ, ihe mmụọ anaghị eme anything. Ihe mmụọ bring confusion. That's why they will tell you bullshit. If you don't know how it goes, if you don't know the ABC, you'll be confused and you become prey to them. You become their victims. We were not doing spiritual things, we were doing natural things. It's natural things to build. Even animals will teach you that. Plants will teach you that. It is natural things to build, to grow. It is natural things. There's nothing spiritual about us. So they confuse them. The moment they confuse them, what happens? They stop building and start spiritualizing. They stop building and start worshiping. They stop building and start serving. Now they are serving their enemies. People that confuse them, they are serving them. Say, the God of Israel is my God. No matter what you are saying, I love Jesus. Don't you hear that from Africans? Can you ever hear any white person tell you, no matter what you are saying, I love Amadioha? They can never say that. Even if they come to your Amadioha and get help, they will never worship that Amadioha after that. They will not say, okay, I'm taking it now. I'm going to make our people to worship it. No, it's not white. No, it's not welcome. Because if he try it, some youth among them will kill him. Say, no, we don't want to be like those people. Although we created them. They tell you God created you. No, you were born. So when they confuse them, what happened? They scatter them. That's how you begin to have tribes. Begin to have kings, queens, slave owners. You begin to say gods and goddesses. Your ancestors, your family members that used to appear to you, appear and that disappear. You don't get that, then you begin to think, oh, we are gods and goddesses. Well, no. They call you gods so that to touch you away or to push you away from who you are both gods and goddesses. You are both gods. Gods and goddesses cannot build anything. You are a natural person, and it's natural things that inspired you or move you or guides you. You don't need any guide from, he says, spirit world. Where is the spirit world located? You cannot tell. Then shut up. It's the same thing with people that say there is heaven. Where is heaven located? They point to there. You see some people believing that, and you say it's our right way. No, it's not our original way. That is right to you does not mean it is right. It is wrong because it is not natural. Anything that is not natural, it is wrong. No matter how right you claim it to be, or no matter how right it sounds. So they came, they scattered them. Jesus said in Luke chapter 12, from 49 to 53, he said, I wish I set this fire. Your wish is already candle. He said he came to set fire. He came to bring division. Now he begin to turn families. He did not say in tribe, well, two persons we hate. He said in family. But they met Africans having one family, one people, speaking one voice, doing things, extraordinary things, because they have extraordinary brain. Till today, check everywhere you see black people. Anywhere people are doing exploits, check the secret. You must see black person there. You must see African there. They came. They say, oh, if you don't love the Lord, if you have to hate your family and love the Lord. Lord, nobody has seen and no one can see. They scatter them. They also displace them and replace them. Like all the place you call me do is today is our land. That's where we run away from and find ourselves in other places like West Africa. West Africa is not ourselves. Some people say, you don't know shit. That's why when you go to Mexico area or all these other areas, you'll find those things you run away with there. Even more than you had. They replaced them. That's why they said, like Jesus said that in Luke chapter 19, verse 27. He said, those who refuse me to rule over them, bring them, kill them. That's what they were doing. Those who agree for me to rule them, okay, they are my slaves. We are the slave of God. We are the slave of Christ. Because they begin to teach you to fear death. Before they came, there was nothing like fear of death because we don't die, we reincarnate. Death is not the end. It never ended us. We cannot end. We just go and rejuvenate or reincarnate, regain fresh body, come out again with strength to continue building. But they mess us up, so we lost our ancestral science and technology. Now, that's what is also seen in Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 7. They begin to inherit what we built, not what they built. We furnish the house, they take it to our vineyards, they take it. Our wells, they take it. They don't know how to dig anything. They were living in the mountain. You don't dig well in the mountain. It's in the lowland. Then they begin to read it. Deuteronomy chapter 6, I think 9 to 10. And Deuteronomy chapter 7, at least read 1 to 2. He will tell you, they were wicked. They said, don't show them any mercy. Though Jesus repeated it, he said, those who refuse me to rule over them, bring them and slaughter them here. That's Jesus. That many Africans are saying Jesus loves us. That's how we begin to love our enemies. They taught us to love our enemies, those who despitefully use us, those who confuse us, those who scattered us, those who displace us, those who replace us. We began. Look at Egypt today. Our people are no longer in Egypt. Look at, even in Ethiopia, our people are no longer there. It's white people, all this mixed blood. They kill our men and begin to rape our women, to bomb people that at least we look at them halfway or somehow. Because African woman will burn every other color, but white woman can never burn black color. It can never happen. That's power of nature we have. They begin to say Moses or death, Muhammad or death, Jesus or death. That's how we become their slave. If you don't repent, you perish. If you don't accept God, you perish. If you don't accept Yahweh, you perish. If you don't accept Allah, you perish. If you don't accept Jesus, you perish. That's how we become useless today, following them. Why they have stolen everything from us and saying today that we are nothing. Idiot. Let them kill me. I will never stop saying it. Because killing me is doing me a great favor. You are not doing me bad if you kill me. And you are stupid crying because somebody died. Why are you crying? Why are you crying? You say you lost somebody because you are ignorant. If you know yourselves, you will no longer be crying because somebody died. It's all them. And you wait. That person will come back. You say, no, I don't believe in reincarnation, but you believe in DNA test, idiot. What is different between reincarnation, like going to find out who reincarnated you, and you doing DNA test to know where you come from? They tell you, I am 50% Nigeria, I am 30% Ghana. Bullshit, you are African. DNA test, you call it science. But when they tell you, go and consult those people that have such power to know. These people will take your blood to know, but there are people that will just hearing you, they will know, or mention them, they will know, or your breath, they will know. Don't you see in your Bible, they tell some place, they tell you that the blood is where life is. Then they tell you that you have breath. Think. Blood, air. Hi. There is nowhere there is no air. Everything, there is nowhere there is no air. In the air, everywhere, air is there. The blood is for the being. How about the air? The same way, when you bury somebody, that blood flows. It flows and begin to germinate. That's why you eat them and you burn them. You understand? You will understand. That's why you should also stop going to mortuary, putting people in mortuary. They begin to open them, bringing shit. When somebody died, the best thing you can do to a dead person is to put the body back to the earth as it is. There is no need for coffin. They started using coffin for somebody that have some deadly disease, so that when they bury them, at least it will stay in the earth for a longer time, so that the earth will deal with it. Then we come. Have you ever asked yourself, why is it the mad people that drink all those water you call dead water on the street? You never harm them. Have you ever asked yourself, even before they begin to confuse us, people will drink the same water they swim in, and there was no disease there. They were surviving. They were living their life well. Nature treats those things. At least you hear some people now, they tell you when you wake up in the morning, you drink your urine, it does something. We are talking at work today, they say, no, doctors, I said, they are for money. I don't respect doctors. I respect a mechanic more than a doctor today as we speak. Because I know that doctors there are things I know doctors don't know. And there are things you know doctors don't know. That's why they need you to tell them bullshit. They begin to use it to tell you what they were trained to do. But in Africa, we have doctors, one doctor that can take care of many diseases, many sickness. But today they have turned it doctor's business. They tell you, doctor of bone, but the only place he can go is from here to here. He cannot do another one. If he do that one, he loses his license. Another one we do from here to here. That's how they're making money. Doctor of head, doctor of eyes, doctor of nose. No, before. Because we know ourselves and we guide ourselves. You will consult that native doctor. He will say, this is what you will do. He will refer you where to go to or what to do. And you will do it. And you will be cured. Our native doctors used to cure the sick. Do you hear what they said? Jesus said in the Bible, he said the sick need a physician. He never said the sick need him or need God. He said the sick need doctors. And the doctors, original doctors, are Africans. Native doctors. Or you call them witches and wizards. Or you call them herbalists. They were people they can see. They can hear grass you cannot hear. They can see certain things you cannot see. But they are natural. Before people begin to spiritualize them. And when you bring spirituality, you begin to see hierarchies. Bow before me. You know the power I have. No. Before you will see somebody going to farm. He has such power to he's going to his farm. You see somebody say, or they say, oh, he's in the farm. They go there and consult him. He tell them, okay, I'm coming. But he go and attend to them. Today, they have turned everything to money. You even think money is what you need. No, Africans don't need money. We have what is greater than money. We have what is greater than God. Hi, wake up. They call them gods because they cannot understand them. It is, they tell you that they say that Greek referred to us as gods. They were calling Africans gods. They put it in the Bible, say, ye are gods. No, ye are not gods. You are both gods. Gods limit you, claiming you are a god. You are limiting yourself because you are saying you are a fairy tale. I mean, a fairy. You are saying you are not human being. You are not living. You are like a paper god. You can't do nothing. That's why I say, I have no power of my own. Shut up. Africans, we have all the powers we need to live humanly. And no force can stop us. We are above gods and goddesses. They called us gods to keep us from knowing ourselves as above gods. Gods are fairies. There is no God in reality. You can never see any God in reality. No God can do anything or say anything in reality. It is people, even animals, that can say and do something in reality because they are real. Gods are not real. Deities. You call it, some of you say, I don't believe in God, but deity. Deities are fairies. They don't exist. It is people that made those deities. People living and dead. Do you hear what I say now? People living and dead are the ones doing things. God created nothing. God cannot create anything. If God created something before, he'll be able to create, or it will be able to create something now. Human beings created something before they are still creating, which is why you are online now. You can hear me, watch me on video, wherever you are. I'm in America. You are somewhere else, all over the world, but you can hear me, you can watch me. And it's called live broadcast. Yet you say your God is almighty everywhere, yet you cannot see that God. All-powerful God that cannot show himself. That God does not exist. If you believe it and you have not seen it, it is because it does not exist. They taught you to believe without seeing. I tell you, you feel blessed. Now you said, I have not seen him, but I love him. I cannot see him, but I believe in him. I'm rejoicing. He saved me. He saved me. Oh, but you are suffering. Yeah, he saved me. He saved my soul. Where is your soul? You have a soul that can sing. And you cannot see God that created that soul. You believe. You believe. That's why they are taking advantage of you and robbing you of your substance. Humans created and the humans still creating things. God did not create anything. I used to tell them when they say, okay, if you say there is no God, who created heaven and earth? Or all these things we are seeing? I say, our ancestors. They shut up. Our ancestors created it. They don't want to believe that because we have been beaten into believing their lies against our truth. Let me ask you this question. You Africans who believe in spirituality and believing there is a God that created this world. Who gave you the idea of one God? Who? Who gave you the one God idea? Think about it. It's like saying there is one man or there's one woman. No. It's like saying there's first man or first woman. It's a lie. Who gave you the idea of one God? Start from there. You look all these things that exist. You say one God who created them. Think. It is an evil idea because the universe has no creator. Even the one that will make a little sense is saying creators. And when you are talking about creators, you are talking about men and women. You say nobody created God. Then who told you the universe was created? But you believe that when it was created, no, there must be a designer. There must also be a designer that designed God. You don't know that? And that designer is your ancestors. That one that designed God, designed even Jesus for the Europeans. They couldn't design anything. The first church was built by the Africans in the place you call Turkey today. But you think the first church was Vatican? Vatican. No. Vatican was copied from the one our ancestors built. I think Church of Sophia, Hagia Sophia, something like that, in Turkey. It's still there. That's where the Muslims just taking over. Before you see, go there, they used to have church and the mosque there. I think that's where Pope went and bowed. They say he went to mosque. You can Google it. Also, they say, no, don't Google. No, leave Google. Google don't know anything. Your God know everything, yet you are ignorant. You go to school. It is an evil idea. You're not supposed to know that a belief is not factual truth. You cannot prove what you believe. That's why you fight for it. You kill for it. You hate for it. You don't need to fight for factual truth. Somebody put it this way. You don't fight for lion. They say truth is like lion. All you need is to open the cage. The lion will fight for itself. Imagine goat is challenging lion. You say, let me fight for this lion. Lion, wait. No. Lion will eat you. Let the lion fight. It's for his battle. Chariots of Irons is talking about powers unimaginable. They think it's what you imagine. It's beyond that. That's why they tell you that which they imagined. That's their interpretation. That's not our truth. He said that which they imagine, nothing will stop them. Say that which they imagine. More than that. We speak it also. We create it also. We don't just imagine. We lay down with it. We walk with it. Powers unimaginable. Powers you cannot stop. They feared our powers. And now they have forced us to fear our powers also. We see ourselves like them. We are like them. We are one human being. We are one human. No, we are not one mankind. We are not one human race with them. No, we are not. We are not. He says, okay, if we were, they wouldn't have come invading, enslaving, and colonizing us, kidnapping and killing us, using our bodies as bait for alligator. Now, because they have made us to fear our powers, we are calling our powers evil. Evil that comes to hurt us or that hunt us. Oh, what my forefathers did is hunting us. What are they put that in there? Since that time, we are not progressing. Idiots. Chinese people have such things, and it's not bothering them. And they are building with science. They are not building with spirituality. Find out why your forefathers put that in there. Your forefathers or your father will never do anything that will hurt his own children or his own generation. It is only you, because you are slave, you believe that. Why people don't believe that all the atrocities their ancestors committed will haunt them? They are a blessing to them. It's only you Africans that believe what your ancestors did is your downfall, is your enemy of progress. No, God is your enemy of progress. Genesis chapter 11, 1 to 9. God is your enemy of progress. Not your uncle, not your ancestors. God. Evil. We must end their evil in our land. You see, Africans now, they have conditioned you and give you some religion to make you believe that those things your ancestors established or your heritage is evil that must be cast out. You must cast out that evil, cast out that demon. They call them devils and demons. In Mark chapter 16, 17, it said, in his name you shall cast out demons. You are talking about your powers. You are talking about yourselves. Africans, stop casting out demons. There's no demons to cast out. It is your powers that are making you see it in your dreams, in your visions, in revelations. You begin to say, in the name of Jesus, I bind you, I cast you out. That's why you are suffering. That's why you remain their slaves. You must go back to your power. Somebody commented on Facebook where I posted yesterday. He said, the same way you left Christianity and its shenanigans, that same way you will live woke. I said, this idiot don't know. When I never say just woke. I said the woke nation. It's not a religion. It's not a movement. No, it's not a belief system. Christianity was forced on me by my parents. The woke nation, it has nothing to do with spirituality. It has nothing to do with religion. It has everything to do with the knowledge of factual truth using your common sense. Your common sense will deliver you. Your common sense will save you. Your common sense will help you. In James chapter 4 verse 7, they call it devil. It says, submit yourself to God. He said, then resist the devil and he will flee from you. How long will your ancestors flee from you? Your powers fleeing from you? Because so long that power is fleeing from you, they have access to you, they control you, there's nothing you can do. You cannot even build your own weapon. Because you don't have such powers. You call your powers devils and demons that you are casting out. Africans, your ancestors are not evil spirit to cast out. There's no evil spirit in your land except Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. There's no evil spirit in your land except belief system. There's no evil spirit in your land except a God of Abraham. There's no evil spirit in your land except Jesus Christ. There's no evil spirit in your land except religion. You must cast that out. Embrace yourselves. Embrace your powers. So you begin to do exploits again that will make them to wonder. We must restore our powers to recover our heritage. How long have I been saying this? We must restore our powers. Powerless people do powerless things. Africans, where is your power? Don't you see we are only doing powerless things? We are not doing powerful things. And anyone among us that have idea of doing powerful things, they take them. They put their name on the record. They begin to make life better for them. But when you see that little one, that young one coming up We suddenly you put them down, send them to school without even finding out what this person can do. They go to school, they brainwash them, they begin to teach them against themselves. Now they grow up. Instead of quoting themselves, they are quoting Jesus. Instead of quoting themselves, they are quoting the Bible. Instead of them quoting themselves, they are quoting Quran. Instead of them quoting themselves, they are quoting Torah. Instead of them quoting themselves, they are quoting fictional characters recorded in some religious books. Look at our native doctors. They are bearing Christian name. They are bearing English name. There's no doctor in Europe or America you will hear bearing African name. I mean, white doctors. They cannot. Remember, they are medical doctors. They're African name. They don't know medicine. It's from Africa. Our freedom is in our hands, Africa. United Nations cannot give us freedom. World powers cannot give us freedom. Do you hear what they call them? World powers. What made them world powers? Weapon and the money. That's what made them world powers, not God. With weapons and the money, now they control everything. They make you bow. When you bow before God of Abraham, you are bowing before them. When you bow before Jesus, you are bowing before them. You must wake up, Africans. Begin to restore your powers. Stop being afraid of your powers. I was talking with one of our sisters. I said, do you know that most Africans, if they hear this thing from you, they will run away from you? And she know I'm not scared. She know I am ready, because I've been saying that if I can see through native doctor, through African native doctor that can fortify me, I will go for it. No matter what it will take for me to be fortified. When I'm talking about, I mean well fortified. Not the one maybe somebody close to you can betray you. No. Well fortified that before they come to you, when you hear about pillar of fire or cloud of fire in your Bible, that was our powers. Wake up, Africans. One of the things that kills our powers is producing children. You don't know that. You begin to think it's fucking women and having children. That's it. Look at anyone that have children like that and see how because if your children is in need, I don't want to lose my children. Don't you see the secret they tell you? The Levites in the Bible, before they become choosing of God, they have to kill their family members, kill their neighbors. What did Jesus tell about his disciples? You must hate your family members, even yourself, for you to be a disciple of Jesus. You don't want to learn. Oh, life is prison. Nonsense. It is among you. We used to see it like that, but it's no longer like that. So we have to restore our powers and recover our heritage so that we begin to fix it as it used to be. The beauty of life. That's what human being is called in Africa. The crown of life, the beauty of life. Until they begin to worship. They first worship woman. Then from there they begin to, white people came and give them gods. They say, okay, gods and goddesses. Because Africans go with balance. You give them God, they put goddess there. Say, okay, yeah, it exists. It does not exist. We are not gods and goddesses. We are both gods and goddesses. We are not kings and queens. We are not slave owners. We weren't enslaving ourselves. We are human beings. We are one family. In family, there is no king ruling over others. In family, what you have is elders. That's the father and the mother and the family members, or the elders, men and women that are elders, then their offspring or their children. But today, what do we have? Africa, look back home. You that is living in diaspora, living in America, in Europe, in Asia, or any other part of the world, look back home. Why is your home deserted? Why are you not living in your home? Put yourself in white man's shoe and ask yourself, why is white man not, average white man fighting or doing everything, selling their land to go to live in Africa? But you are selling your land to go live in their land. Things have fallen apart. We have lost our chariots of iron, but we can recover it. We must restore our chariots of iron so that we can begin it. So some people say God of iron, Ogun or Shango, God of iron. There's no such thing as God of iron. No. We have powers beyond that. They remember, God went with these people. They drove away people living in the mountain. From mountain, they can throw something and kill them. They still chase them away. But people living in lowland, they could not chase them away because they had chariots of iron. Africans, let us restore our chariots of iron so that we can recover our heritage and regain our place of power again, ruling over those who came to destroy us, no more showing them pity. Gordon.